Why this thing behaves like this? Oh wow. So annoying. So there is a huge bug, right? That if you do more than 2 climbs, the second one doesn't make the character fall anymore, which is
The second one doesn't
embarrassing.
what?
Like if you do 2 climbs,
Mm-hmm.
like ever when playing the game, like after you do the second climb, for some reason you cannot fall anymore. You just get stuck in not falling.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean I changed a few stuff around, so I must have messed up something badly, but
Oh, okay.
that is
I
definitely
was like, that's not. um. Yeah. Let me.
okay. Okay, that's my first thing on the list. Cannot fall. Can't fall. Ugh. That's like so weird.
Okay. Let's. Hey, clown. All right. I want to start going through. All right. Let's make a list. Let me make sure it's not in the version I'm using. 2 climbs is
Um,
in.
if you go latest, then yeah, it is. I mean, it wasn't behaving like that yesterday as well, although
I
it's
don't
a
have this
slightly
problem.
different scenario.
So if I do climb 2 climbs, I can't fall.
Yeah. Um, if you got latest like 5 minutes ago, yes. If you haven't got latest 5 minutes ago, then
I know I've got
uh,
latest. Oh,
okay.
did you push something else?
Yeah, like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah. Okay then. I grabbed it like 10 minutes ago. Thankfully.
Okay,
Okay.
but that shouldn't affect you.
Yeah, it does and it works fine. Okay, first thing I'm gonna sort out that has just looked at me is those vaults. The cat vault stuff. Let me sort that shit out right now.
So is that a simple adding a filter like weight on the thing? No, not a filter weight, but like should we be more aggressive with the filtering out? But then we get back to the problem that if we aggressively filter out, then we have less coverage, so you can get stuck by not climbing, right? So how do we want to approach that?
Well, let's do what we let's do this list. Let's make a list. Let's make the list because I think we'll get overwhelmed. I already feel overwhelmed. I don't even know, but because it's just like open-ended problem. It's like address problems one by one and then see how then they go together. Let me just jump
Okay.
in Sam's level. Sam's level.
Yeah, let's do some. Let's do something. Are you streaming on?
Yeah, I'm on
The,
YouTube. Yeah. Hey Lola.
uh, can you stream on the Discord to get in
Oh yeah, yeah.
sync?
Sorry. Yeah. All right, so yeah. Okay, so something's changed about the falling. I don't know what it is. Why did he do that? What the fuck? It's just what's going on, man. It's not like that. Oh, I wonder why. Okay, this is the first thing. Landing. Well,
So
landing
landing, I think, right,
windows.
there is still a bug in the landing code, right? Well, there are many, but there is still a bug in which it trigger the roll when it shouldn't, because it doesn't get, it doesn't understand that you're not rolling from height. So I think that is the first thing, right? At least, because I think when you jump off a very big platform, uh, you want to roll, but
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, right? The issue is it's just so um damaging, even off a big platform. What the fuck? What? What is going on, man? Like, there's just a host of all of out of nowhere, a bunch of problems that weren't even here yesterday. What has gone? Like, what's changed? Because even the falling looks off now. Like this, it just doesn't look as like yeah. It's, that looks wrong.
um, did you did you leave a standard blend in the phone?
No, but I'm like, this something's changed between last night and now.
Yeah, yeah, I did. So there is so there is a big bug in the fallen. Okay, um, which that is my number one in the priority list, right? So that we know. We're aware of that. But why does he like? Why does he? It looks like he like when he falls. Like I didn't change that bit, but when he falls, it goes like way too like way too scaly. It just
The capsule's
launches a
just doing
step
some
from more.
crazy stuff as well. Like it's just it's the capsule being crazy. Like it's just that to do. Like there's something about it. Did we? I know we made a change to the locomotion manager. Did we leave it in there? It was like when we scale. I don't know. We still do that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. That's just completely wrong. Yeah.
So okay, uh, all of
Because
those initialization nodes probably they didn't do much, but maybe we should remove them just in case.
but so
Like
what
what?
is what's confusing me now is like something between last night and this morning, but I don't see any big change. What was the change you made?
The falling had the problem that it wasn't getting reset. Okay, now it still has some problem, but it's a different. Yeah, he has a different outcome now. But um, have you got any local changes?
Yeah, I have, but like none that weren't there last night. But none to the falling and stuff like that.
But can you
Can blend out.
can
Okay.
you make like can you um undo your local changes? I mean, if like the one that that we were just playing around, right?
To be fair, some of my changes are actually because they're to do with the advanced locomotion. Uh, yeah, but like none of these changes touch the falling. That's the thing I'm confused about.
What is that? Uh, like did you change? You added.
I killed this. I took. I never like this. We did all last night, and I got rid of this. This because I had a basically I had logic in the trace find ledge that was dependent on the advanced locomotion stuff, like checking the water in it. Like, but
Yeah.
basically, I needed a can update sync point, not a can continue to find ledge, because it's like should keep always updating the ledge or whatever. But then I was saying like, oh, can you update? I was basically because it was stopping the ledge trace from continuing on, which theoretically is wrong. It's like we should just not update the sync point if the ledge trace is wrong, basically. So I moved that out of here to clean this up because that fine ledge is like it's too much going on in there. So I none of these changes I see how could even possibly affect the falling.
Yeah,
I
but
might roll
okay.
back this merge.
If I play on mine, I don't have the launching thing after the fall. So is that so you got both changes in the AniVP and into the customer. Let me share my screen, right? So if you look at mine, okay, and I do exactly the same movement that you do, right? You just go here and climb, right? It just okay, right? Can you see my screen?
Hmm. Let me. I want to quick. I want to try something. I want to roll back this merge.
Oh, you know what? Like, do I have? One sec. Yeah, I have. Yeah, okay. I have initialization on the climber.
That wasn't an
Can
issue
you?
before though. That's the weird like.
Well, I think we didn't really played with that much. I think that like launching on the fall, like really pretty sure you can fix that if we set initialization uh on the climb.
What's
which I
weird is
know.
that
Yeah,
that was never a problem before though. Like what is the thing that has caused that problem to appear?
mm, I think. Are you sure it wasn't? It wasn't a problem.
It was never. No, we were playing around last night. I mean, I could even go back to the stream last night
Mm.
and um, look at it. It
Because
just wasn't
I
because we would.
saw
I
like
would have noticed that. There's no way we wouldn't have noticed that.
I saw it from time to time. I didn't
Um,
say it 100% of the time.
I never saw it. Let me roll back this commit. Um, I should have checked it. I fucking.
So one of the behavior that I couldn't, for the life of me, ever fix, it was uh like using the root scale, okay, uh to blend two animations. It was like an impossible task. It was, yeah, impossible to achieve. But yeah, there's definitely something sus in that, because I mean, I can try mine if I set this to standard. Let's see if that climb behaves, if that fall behaves something like a climb, which I think it will. Mm. No, it's not that one. It must be a change in the anime feeling. Like I don't get that behavior at all, and I reverted back to standard.
Um, yeah, let's. I'll play this one.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bug in the fallen at the moment, but it's not that one.
Yeah, no, it works fine. Well, let me go to the sounds level.
Uh, did you revert any changes?
I reverted the the merge I did this morning. Um,
Uh,
so he still does the little zoom.
yeah, I think it still
So
does it.
so so what is
if you stash your changes, right, and yeah, if you just stash your changes, so you go back to wherever it is in the branch right now, uh, you'll be able to.
Oh, stupid things open. Fuck's sake.
Oh, do a restore and then do a stash again.
When changes are present on your fucking. Okay, you know what? Hold on. Wait, fuck me, mate. Oh,
So why there are so many? Who changed that UI tutorial thing?
guns. I think made a load of change. That's what's confusing all the. Um.
Mm.
Um. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. You know, give me 2 seconds. Really not up to date though. You know what? It's just become a fucking worse. Hold on. I'm just gonna fucking. You know what? Hold on. Just everything's a fucking mess. Hold on. I'm getting rid of everything. Fuck all this. I'm just gonna um, what- the thing is, why is it saying that I'm up to date with that? Okay. Okay. I should actually be up. I should be probably up to date with dev now. Let me. Let me. I should just have the same as dev. Let me see my filter. Well, my player base movement class. That shit's standard. Oh, I'm just making a branch of dev. Oh, fuck me, man. This is the old stuff. This makes more sense.
Okay, so okay, I think I identified the problem.
Why does my fucking version still do it, man? What is going on? Wow. You know what? So you saying that problem isn't in dev?
Yeah, the problem isn't in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. My branch is just a clusterfuck right now, and it's not letting me.
If you sync in dev and just run dev,
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna create a new branch anyway. This branch has just become an absolute. I don't fucking know what's going on with it now. I've just completely.
yeah.
Yeah. Um. So I'm really there's anything on that branch I want. No, it's just an absolute mess. Jeez, I was gonna put toilet. Okay, I'll go for a clean slate. Let's fix this one. Okay, cool. So I don't have that issue yet. Come on, it's just fucking awful now. What is completely? Oh, yeah, it's because of naturalization. Just to blend in, it's just.
I think that blending time, right? I want to check the logic there. I'm not exactly sure that is correct.
What is this? Just it just feel. What is? Oh, I didn't freaking live code. Okay, yeah, like movement wise, right? There's something about inertialization that feels so terrible. Like the actual blend between animations just feels awful. I don't know if you know what I mean. Um,
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but I think that is because, like, I think we assumed, right, that our blending time to be as much as possible to give the the two animation time to blend in, right? So a huge blending time in standard, like it would be like ideal, right? But that is exactly the opposite for in initialization, because in initialization you want to be as quick as possible, in order to not to make, for the animation not to produce other movements, right? Oh yeah, can you add that case in our list? That is very easy. Like jumping on a ramp will just um, make you fall down. Oh, yeah.
I think we have an issue there with the fact. Yeah, yeah,
It,
it's
it, it
ramp.
should never detect that as
Yeah,
lead
yeah.
first. Yeah. But so like the yeah regarding the initialization, right? Like the problem that we had is like can you set the
Yeah,
blend
no, I
time
didn't.
to 02 in that like fixed, and so I think that will not generate that madness because it will always try to get, oh yeah, I blend in, right? So I think by changing that we need to also change our logic there.
It's just it. I don't even know. It just doesn't feel better. It feels worse. Like even with
No,
that.
no, you will never feel better. I mean, like you cannot beat like blending to real motions, right?
Wait, so hold on. I'm gonna take you back to standard real quick, and then get rid of this for now. And just be like, use as much time as possible for now. For now, and then okay. So let me put the IK back on, just so I can actually see how it's looking. Because I really want to go through and be like, what are the problems? Let's make solutions and release this fucking thing. Okay, so the climb isn't doing that weird thing anymore. The fall's actually quite good. Um, so okay, so the first thing is the fall slash landing, right? Now, like you said, there's a big problem that you're fixing, right?
Yeah. So if you in that version, right, can you restart and then climb up on the big vertical wall and then climb down again, like soon after that? Do that, and you see there. You see the
Mm.
problem. So, but I'm fixing that, so I'm aware of that. So that's okay. I mean, I'll just I'm fixing that. So.
Okay, so it's back to back climbs, right? It's not like a
Yeah,
climb
uh,
full climb.
yeah, like you climb, fall, and then before you end the fall there,
Oh,
like
got
you
you.
climb again,
Okay,
that it will go mental. But it will also go mental in another case, but which I'm aware of. So yeah, that's not a big if. I mean, I mean that's just one. I mean, it's my most important critical bug at the moment. But yeah,
okay,
but I know how to address that.
okay. So now for me, what I was saying is so with the climbing, I need to. What is the state of some stuff? One sec. Okay, so it does it up to take off. That's whatever. Um, yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, so going off this version here, I. So the issue we have is I mean, it doesn't even is. I mean, okay, I mean the IK is wrong. Oh, also I used the wrong freaking rig right now. That's why it's looking all weird and how it's yeah. Um, didn't realize that. Okay, so ignoring the fact that some animations the IK curves, blah blah, but just like in general. See, like, so that scenario there, right, was really good. Um,
Yeah, very good.
so like there, okay, the IK did a bit of a janky whatever, and I mean even there was pretty good. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
um, so like, so where does it go wrong? And let me address the
yeah.
point
It's
in which it goes wrong. So the first thing I don't like is the step ups. Well, of course, when I'm trying to say it looks shit, it does good stuff. Like, stop it. Just
yeah.
be shit. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, for fuck's sake. Like, just do what a bad one. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying. Oh, that's not even shit. Um, I swear to God, if you don't do a bad one soon, he's gonna do something bad here. Oh, it didn't even like. Oh, just fucking fuck up. Swear on my life. Bloody thing does not. Okay, so there. That's
Oh
the
no, no,
first thing.
that's still the falling problem. That is the same
Oh,
issue. Yeah.
okay. So, okay, so let me. Okay, so that's the falling point. Okay, so let me go back down here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that one. Oh,
So
it's,
yeah, so that's the first thing. So it's when you do so the problem with that, right, is so with the step ups. Okay, so the first is here. So let me do my climbing. Right, I want to fix every climbing problem today. So the first problem is scale on non-restricted on limited width ledges, right?
sorry. Stay.
So yeah, so scale. So the problem is there is with
Okay.
the step ups, we only do a scale warp, right? And we only do a scale warp. And because we only do it, so we only do a scale warp, and we only do a scale warp, with no collisions, basically to create that smoothness of the step. Um, Now the issue is, it means that especially because the problem is that it doesn't have a because I also clamp the scale so like it's not, you don't go, it's just one. So I changed. Oh no, I don't. I did actually. Do I? No, I think I changed it. I used to clamp the scale so that it was just one, so that the step ups were never impacted. You would just do the step up animation nicely. But I'm gonna revert back to what I was doing before. Which actually makes a lot of difference, actually. But so one of the issues is if you pick a step up, that when you're super close, right, because of the whole you can hit the wall and climb up thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you pick a step up where it what's it called? It goes through the wall at any point, right? Like you then have the problem of, because I'm not pulling to a specific point, is like it may go through and then step into thin air if the wall is too thin. Now, we can approach a couple different ways, right? We can be really strict with our what's it called? Uh yeah, we can be super strict with our I can't even think of the stupid name. Look at the filter, and be like, pick something that goes to a point where it's not like that, or like you can't pick certain ones, and there's a reason why. But that sounds that I worry about the coverage there. So like for example, it's the same thing as this scenario here, right? So with this jump, right, you should doing a so this exact scenario is perfect, right? Bunch of problems
Oh,
here.
okay, yeah, that one. Yeah, I saw that
So
one. Yeah,
it goes because the lack of collisions make it go through the wall, and because it then
yeah.
doesn't have like a specific point it needs to go through, it's a problematic. Now we don't have a ton of coverage for that wall, it seems. So like a cat vault. So yeah, so a step up there, it's just in midair. Um,
But are you doing a jump or are you doing a climb there?
I'm doing a climb.
Ah, okay.
Now, a load of animations get filled. So one of the issues I'm having is a load of animations. I need to actually fix this. One of the filters I have with the the takeoff surface thing because they're tracing after the wall and whatnot and beyond thingy. So I need to actually I need to have a look at that. Yeah, I need to actually what's it called? Yeah, I need to assess that quickly. So that they don't get filtered out because some shouldn't actually be filtered out there. So there's something sus going on there. So I need to.
Yeah, and that one is the other problem. Like just we need to filter those. I don't think it's just uh, uh, limited to the dive cut pass thing. I think it's just general. Like we need to filter like what did we filter about phase to volt, like phase to hand distancing, because like
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
does
So
a cut pass and goes back, it's like
I filter by yeah. So with the cat pass one, right? The
yeah
issue is that the with that kind of one, right? It's not about pulling because like if I'm by the wall, right, that animation will be problematic all the time because the way we do the
yeah
climbs is you need to be on we you're climbing to the edge of the wall basically, right? That
yeah
animation doesn't do that work with that because it's like unless I do it far off where my feet are gonna land onto the edge of the wall like that, um, then I can be like, okay, take it to the wall and be precise with it. So you can do it in a couple different scenarios. But the second I'm anywhere near the wall or the distance is greater than, right, so that you hit the wall and you can't do it, um, so all that in that animation there, you know you're gonna hit the wall. That animation instantly becomes super problematic. Like, um,
yeah. But can we detect that case?
yeah, like we can filter them out so that it doesn't work, right? So we can be
Yeah,
like, if you're hitting the wall, don't do the animation, because like so that's what has created some problems, right? Is the case of we allowed for them to hit the wall and still climb. Um,
yeah,
Now, okay, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fix. I'm gonna fix this takeoff surface filter out and then go from there because it's. I don't think it's given us an accurate picture of some stuff because I'm seeing some stuff get filtered out when it should never really. If
yeah.
they like, it should
Okay.
only be really. It should only filter out if there's a like a freaking gap between you and the ledge. If there's not a gap between you and the ledge, it shouldn't theoretically filter out anything in that scenario. So let me give me like 10 minutes. I'm gonna fix that
Yeah,
change and then I'll come back.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll work on the falling as well. So yeah, see you in 10.
Mm. What was I gonna do? So oh, I did. Oh, it's because of the slope. um, this is also wrong anyway because with this version you'll still climb midair. Actually, not wrong with that. It's because you're on a slope, so that's not wrong. The Yeah, it's not actually wrong. Trace start, takeoff distance. Sorry, is it's not 0. It's gonna be yeah, because it's not gonna be. I don't want to check the place you're gonna be at. I need to check the. Should never be just where it's at. It should be in anticipation of hitting the wall. I should fix a bunch of problems first of all. I should also account for slopes. There we go. Okay, cool. So you can't do it on the slope, but once you get off the slope, which makes sense, that's fine. But then shit like this, yeah, it should never be in the wall. Cool, there we go. None of the traces are ever by the wall or at the character. It's always at the capsule radius off of the wall. Or like, yeah, yeah. If the takeoff distance, uh, oh yeah, okay, all right, cool. Um, Otherwise, look at the bit right before the thing. Okay, we'll check this in. Okay, so that's working. The general state of it now is actually not too bad. Um, the next issue is um just because like some animations you can do late and some you can't. That's the key thing. Some animations you can get away with scale less than 0. Other ones you cannot. See that one there, completely fine with a scale greater than 1. That one there, scale far less than 0, less than 1. Sorry, um, but actually looks alright. It's a lot better already. I'm not sure what the changes were. Okay, so then that is the next big problem. Okay, so the takeoff surface filter out. Let's start this. Um, First thing I'm going to do is those volt animations. Let me change them around actually. I have a issue. I have a thinking because they just do a skew warp from takeoff to landing, which I think is wrong. Because realistically, you actually need to reach the height of that surface when the hands are there, not when the feet are. So these two here. So, and I think it's because of how I do 0 and 0. So if I do like 200, 300, Okay. What is? Okay, so this is a problem in itself. Dado. Okay, Dado, can you hear me? Okay. Um. Okay. Aside from this completely crazy. Stop. What does this look like? That's not. Oh my god! Look at this. Okay, it's gonna look completely wrong, but I've been meaning to do this, and this is just actually the more correct way of having it, because it does have a hand rest time, so it was going against the principles of what we were doing. Yeah. Okay. So let me say all this. Yeah. Minus the freaking. See, now all of a sudden it doesn't do as much, which is interesting. Oh yeah.
What's in there?
Oh, Daddy, you back?
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, there. Yeah, I was distracted by food.
Oh no. Yeah, so if you look on my screen, there's something with the elaboration of some animations that it's it does this weird like doo thing,
Yeah,
doop,
yeah. What is that
like does it
thing?
just after landing. Just goes like well, it goes before actually. It goes doop doop.
Whoa, that's like a long. Uh, Now one sec.
Yeah.
Is that is the one frame? Hmm. Plus.
Two between 36 and 37.
Yeah. I have an
38,
idea.
sorry.
Idea. Hmm. Okay. Is that on a new elaboration
A new
or?
elaboration, yeah. I think it does it for everyone I elaborate now though. So I don't really want to
Yeah.
elaborate anything else.
Yeah.
I actually had that problem. I don't even know why I didn't raise it. Me being stupid, but yeah. I had that problem a while ago actually.
Okay. What is the animation name? I'm gonna try mine and see.
If you do it on 5109 Toby KT03 Wall Pop.
I wanna. Okay.
Gonna share a
Let me do
screen.
it. Yeah. Is it? Is it? Is my screen still shared? I don't know.
No.
The wolf pop. This one. Oh, okay. So it doesn't. Is this, is this one? Is the what? Okay.
Yeah, this one.
So here it doesn't do it, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is okay. Let me elaborate.
Yeah.
Oh. There you go.
It's just like a it's super weird.
What is that? Like, whoa. That's like. Ah. Okay. So that's 56. So that is in so that's the landing, right? What is the type of root motion elaboration on the what's the type of root motion elaboration for the climb? Z bone fixed before takeoff, right? Okay, I think it's that one, right? So fixed before takeoff. Okay, so fixed before takeoff is that. Uh, oh right, so it's is- so this is this is before takeoff, right? If it's less than zero, if it's um greater than second, then so what does it go to zero? The like is there, and then it thinks it needs to go to zero at landing, basically, right? Is that the frame of land, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it thinks that at landing it needs to go to zero. Ah, right. Okay. Um, hmm, I mean, they should fix it, but we may have a. Why is not planning? Oh yeah, it's fine. We may have. Hmm. So in the. Okay, let me first check that this is a temporary fix for that. All right. So if we go elaborate again. Okay, so that. Right. Yeah. So that gonna happen. Good. Now, well, I'm gonna check this stuff in, but then I wanted to. So if I show you here, right? I don't know if it's worth to align to the other things. So like the root motion before takeoff uh, is always zero, right? Is like it never like is exactly
Yeah,
constant.
yeah.
Then it does the thing and then it just goes up and down, right? When it lands, what I do in the jump, I keep this
Say B
constant,
zero. I see. Yeah,
which I think I do actually here.
it
No,
looks it. That looks correct. Yeah. Then you land,
but that is the landing
and then
frame.
it's boom.
Oh, yeah, I do it actually.
Yeah, you
Oh,
do.
okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, so that's a good fix then. Okay, let me check the in then. Okay. All right. Um, okay. If you grab from dev, David, it should be in the fix. And it's also a proper fix, to be honest. Uh,
Okay, cool. Give me 2 seconds. I also made a change to the that cat jump thing that I hadn't done before that I was fucking an idiot about. Basically, I was basically using logic that was completely wrong. So I was saying, no, so I was saying, so stupid. I was saying skew warp from takeoff to landing on that animation, but we were saying, well, no, because the hand sync point is after the takeoff, so you need to do the jump right so that your hands get the right point, because there's a huge issue being that I'm not climbing and stepping up the wall because I actually jump up to the surface and then pull in. So it's like, oh, like you need to get the jump, you need to reach the point at which you're on the wall. Then your pull in needs to do so that your feet then reach the point. Um, it was completely wrong in thinking I was just doing a skew from takeoff to land. And the reason why I was doing that is because I didn't set IK like min velocity, so it didn't have any hand rest points. So it was like theoretically it was just wrong. And now all of a sudden it picks it. It doesn't pick it now when you're too close. I
ah,
wonder why. Because it's like, well, it's a shit scale. So it now weights it badly. Because I think before it wasn't weighting it
uh,
badly. It was weighting it fairly well. um,
yeah.
because it was like, okay, well, how far are you? Oh, you just need to pull the whole motion back. Like 0.8. It was like, well, no, I need to pull. It's not because it's not about the land. It's like it's actually about the jump. The jump is the bit I need to pull back, because that's like my Z scale is awful and all that stuff is just awful in that scenario. Especially my XY. So then it weights it worse. So like, I mean, I still think there's gonna be something sus there collision wise, but I need to let me grab something anyway, and then
Yeah, we really need. I I think we need to. Well, not now, of course, but like a proper way to approach it for the long term. We need to get, of course, as much real life motion capture coverage as possible for sure. But I think we need to, and I think we need to use AI twofold. Okay, we need to use AI, or not even AI, but we need to use a procedural augmentation of all the mockup data. Just like
yeah,
even like in between frames that we don't have. Who cares, right? We just like if we go jump, there is this 0 from 1 meter. We do 0 from 70 centimeters to 0 from
yeah. I think
130
that's the truth.
centimeters at 1 centimeter increments, right?
Yeah, I
So we get all of that massive coverage, right? Artificially. And then we can run the AI. on the artificial massive coverage, right?
Mm.
Uh,
I think that's the thing. I think we need to have lots of data to cover different ranges. Like, because I don't think we have, for the variation in walls, I don't think we have enough to be able to say you can't Z scale it more than 1.2 or 1.1, which if we
yeah,
could, it'd be so much better, right? Because then we could say, because then we could be like, okay, well, another issue is that we don't have them. We have almost no mocap of them climbing the wall when they're at the wall. Like, you know what I mean? There is none. Like, or like when they go and they're like, oh, stop and push and go. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's all from like far away kind of stuff, which like makes sense. Um, and like you said, like I think we get as much coverage as we can, and then this is exactly what you said. We need to artificially generate the precision. Like, so then be like, we have a jump of a meter, we have 1.1 meters. Then if the jump is 1.02 meters, we create one that does that. Like, and it just morphs between the two, or whatever, whichever one, it gets the closest one, and then using AI and whatever, we then say make procedurally there's the 1.02 one that looks good, and then that way, because I think that'll be the thing, right? Because I think the issue now is that we're just accepting that things are going to be wrong, and it's going to be hitting off the wall, and it's going to be a little off, and then we pull it to and fro to make it work. But it should be the case of like, given any scenario, we have within a tiny degree of error the right animation being played. Obviously, you can't get that because you need infinite coverage, but if we can
yeah.
procedurally have it, then maybe that problem will go away.
But then the other emerging factor would be how do you punish the failures? Because if we got the infinite coverage, in theory, you never fail. And while that gives you absolute magical flow in your movement, it's also a little bit,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know the word,
100%.
too easy I
It
can
doesn't.
think of.
It's ridiculous. It's silly, really. Like, it's like I think we need to do, because I think it then like we need to really decide why do you fail and when is the point at which you fail. Because I still don't think we've actually really decided that. Like, when
Yeah.
exactly and why exactly are you failing? Hold on, I need to go pee again. What the hell?
Hey chat, sorry we didn't read the chat, I guess. With the motion capture or stationary pull-up work in this case, yeah, I mean we got lots and lots and lots of coverage. So coverage coverage is an issue, but not an issue. Um, what is really an issue is coverage in every possible combination that you may face. So that is the biggest uh, problem. You got we got about 24 hours of mockup data, like throughout. Like it's a lot. Like we got shitloads of data, and and it's still like very little compared to what we need.
Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, that worked. Nice, good. Okay, very good. Just climb up and stick gone. Um, I'm gonna look at bringing it back. Um, until we really get the coverage, it might just, or we find a way to artificially do it. Like we have to really have to think about that. Oh, nice! It doesn't do that freaking animation anymore. Yes, it doesn't do it anymore. Nice. Before you literally would do it every freaking. Okay, so now that's the issue. No, no, I know, I know. Well, I'm gonna look at adding it like 100%. Like, well, already, I mean, it's already better because you get climb responsiveness immediately. So like you can climb, and then like turn off and stuff like that. And I do actually filter by surface. Like I'm gonna weight the surface width, so it will come back. But like I need the data. Like I can't because we can't have a yeah we like it's just not we don't have enough sticks to be like for run ups we do for run ups we have coverage so I might do it add the we're definitely gonna add the stick input anyway but see now that is the issue there is that skew on that animation there that skew warp um is highly problematic highly problematic um so here it reaches it and does that. It's 'cause I haven't, that's another change that we need to make. Um, yeah. And then That transition into sprint, it just looks awful when you go into the walk. It's because it's such a speed change. Who am I listening to? That voice sounds so good. Can you hear the music that's playing in the background? I'm guessing you can hear it when I start talking, maybe. Yeah, we don't have any sprinty, because now I don't pick. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a very, some aggressive filter stuff. Give me all the data. I'm telling you. Be hella aggressive with these filters.
So one idea that I had about a possible failure, a bail, not fail, like, is it safe to say that if your capsule bumps into the wall in locomotion, like, you just need to practice more, and then you shouldn't do it? Because I think like that is where it still breaks the pose for me. It does that. Because if you do it anywhere before your capsule hits the wall, then even now we got enough coverage to get away with that. But
Yeah,
I
so
think like when your capsule is the wall, then no matter what animation we play, unless it's a perfectly static one, but even there, right? It will go from locomotion, then it will be banging against the wall, slowing down, and then playing the animation. It would just. I know that it will break the flow, but at that
yeah.
point we need to, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that the reason why we couldn't do it before is because we couldn't chain climbs and because the falling was so catastrophic. I think if the falling and the land isn't so detrimental to the flow, and we can now chain climbs, that problem doesn't. It actually allows you to fail. It's like you did it too late. Like if we don't have the coverage where, like, eventually we might have a climb where you're right by the wall and you jump up, right? That's fine. But yeah, I think that the idea that we have one that you, because it's just wrong. Because the thing is, it's wrong because you're walking into the wall to climb up, which is just wrong.
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
know it
Exactly.
flows more, but like there has to be, because it's like, unlike games like Skate and Riders and all these, like, it's not an action that the world then you then say this action is right and then the world scenario is wrong. It's like, well, no, you have to be wrong in your world scenario in order to, like, your world scenario, because it's like there's no separation between the two, which is why it's probably more difficult. It's like there's no, oh, the action's the action and that will always do an action, and then the world will determine the fail. It's like, no, the fail is determined by the world, but then your action is also determined by the world. Like the two aren't separate. So if you fail in the world, you also fail in doing the action. Like it can't be, because you can't do the action before you succeed in the world, right? Like there's no, like, world context determines whether or not you do the action, and not vice versa. You don't jump and then it's like, did I make it? Or it's like you jump if you make it, because you have to do it properly, right? So with that being said, let me just try one thing.
Yeah, no, it was just like a thought. I need to.
No,
I need
100%.
to,
Um,
falling still.
let me debug. Oh yeah, but Guns, to answer your question, that girl was Georgia Smith. There's too much going on in my head. What was I freaking just doing? Okay, so yeah, it's just a bunch below zero, right? See, that one just did a zero, and it just was just wrong. It shouldn't. I'm just thinking to just fucking just just get rid of the fucker. If I say, oh yeah, I love Georgia Smith. She's so wavy in it. Let me put on just Georgia Smith songs. Georgia Smith, she's female artist, one of my favorite. Um, I love Riley Ritchie as well. Just, I know it's completely random. Like Kamal. If you guys don't know, get onto a guy. Is a guy called Kamal, like Kamal. He's so wavy. He's like the guy's like 20 years old. And it's like sort of like bedroom. But I always give him like he's like a male Billie Eilish kind of vibes, but it's like R&B, more R&B vibes. Um, so cold. Um, dun, dun, dun. Mm, mm, Kamal dot. I'm putting you guys on right now. In love, quicker than a new Mercedes. You know, it's crazy. Funny how you want your events. Your family friend. Yes, and never that. I should be a singer. Fuck me in game dev. We all know I got a love bit of scissor as well. I'm actually a certified country singer as well, but I like to keep the under wraps. I do that 3-4 times a. Okay, that's 6246. Unproblematic. Because it's like a jump. Because the rest of the motion has to be preserved. And see, now we're just doing a way more aggressive clamp. So no more of that stupid hit the wall shit and climb. It's wrong. No, go back and climb. Now you can double climb. So if you do it late, you're just wrong. It's just better. And I want to be more aggressive even. Like I just still don't think I'm being that aggressive. Like 0.5 is pretty lenient aggressiveness. I'd love like a 0.7 or some shit. Might, do like a 0.7. That is my fear. Boom. There we go. See, the thing is though, there you were just moving too slowly. So was it wrong? Like, is it wrong though? It doesn't look it. Like the one you couldn't get up there is because you were trying to walk into a pretty high run up. If I accelerate at that point in time, yeah, it's way better. I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, it feels a lot better.
And so now I think so. These scenarios here are the problems, and it's because we don't have coverage. Because they all need quite a bit of like time to pick up phase wise and all that stuff. And like I can decrease the. Right, but already it's like we're being pretty aggressive. See, and it starts to pick nicer animations anyway. Okay, let me when it filters it out, let me see why it does.
What was your change there?
So before, right, I basically said you can have a forward scale of 0 and then we clamp it so you because we're gonna hit the wall. Now I say your forward scale is like you need to only be able to reduce the scale by 0.5. So basically it means like that's basically like your how far off motion wise is that you can't overshoot it by so much more than half.
Yeah.
You can undershoot it because we know the pulling 2 looks fine because you're not going to collide and all that shit. But you can't overshoot it.
The dive that goes like in the wall because
Oh, 1,000,000%. I mean, I've got a problem here because I've got an issue anyway with this dive. Because it because it has a problem with the it has a problem with the skew because I need to just it's like a vault where you need to scale the entire thing the whole time. Basically, and you can't be like skew because it's not about that one is less about I need to pull you to a point at a set time. Like the time when it's actually at the ledge is when the hands touch. That's when theoretically the landing is.
Now I see from that like also the foot sliding is a lot less.
100. Well, yeah, 100. Especially going into it because there's less of a you have to scale less, so it's a lot more accurate in that sense.
Also going out, I only saw it a couple of times.
Oh yeah,
And
it's probably because it picks a
when
better
we
animation.
massively slow down, so that may be like something like unavoidable. But like there it was like the phase was like super perfect, right?
Yeah.
So I think there what is missing there, just to give the user a feedback, right? Is that when you bang against the wall, we need to play the bail animation. We need to really get a real bail state and say, "Oh shit, mate, you are too late."
Yeah.
And that will feel a lot better because, well, first it will play an animation, so it won't just be stuck on
Run
the
into
wall
a
like
wall.
that,
Yeah.
like that. And then like it will you know what, like after 2 or 3 times that or every so often that you cannot get into the wall because you bump into that. We can have a thing like, well, do it earlier, mate.
It's just these scenarios here. It's like, what am I doing? So like, let me try something. I want to try something here. This is gonna
like,
be just
actually,
give me a um. Because here, this is way more accounting for. So okay, so yeah, it says here. So candidate, yeah, a bunch got thing because they were two. Oh, scale 1.2. Oh, yeah, that was fine. Yeah. Wait, what is getting? Hold on. Oh, I didn't do it in an if. Très stupido.
yeah, about the bail, even bumping into a wall bail, uh, we can easily do it. I mean, I already have that state, right? So
Yeah, it's
that's
really
not a
not.
problem
It's really not hard to do at all. Really easy to do.
The
Actually,
issue is that we don't have any good animation to do.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's actually really not an issue to do that. The bail itself is really no problem adding. Um,
See, that looks so flawless. Oh yeah, I mean that's more
yeah, but even there,
slider
it's like,
is because it was stationary and then it started working.
yeah.
So that's fine, like
So here with like in so there, even that one there, right? It found one really late, like a 0.24, and like a zero, like because basically I think the issue was we were saying like, oh, if your jump scale is negative, you can still do it, right? Because we were saying and then just make it equal 0, but it's just wrong. Like if your jump scale is negative, that really means you've overshot it. Like right, like it's not even a case of you're just gonna bump the wall for like a little bit, right? It's like nah, you're gonna hit the wall and have theoretically it means that you would have to go backwards in order to get onto this point, not just slow down significantly, right? Like it was so much so that you couldn't. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was so much so that you couldn't. Yeah, it was never a point of which, like, we can actually. So basically, oh, what? Yeah, if it was 0, right? What it was actually saying was that, oh, like, you've overshot it before you've even taken off, right? That we can't even like. It's basically like you're so far forward before you've taken off that no scale will even allow it for you to maintain your forward movement and reach. Like no matter, so even if you disable collisions, no matter what you do, you'd had to go backwards to go forward. And so therefore we became wholly reliant on the fact that it would collide in order for it to get there, which then just meant like, oh, yeah, it would never reach. Because in theory, with this system of being precise, you should be able to turn off collisions and have no issue. But obviously, we're not going to turn off collisions because we want to account for like, okay, if it hits the wall in the run up and stuff, like restrict it a little bit and just But yeah, we should
No, no, yeah,
theoretically be like, yeah, if and like this,
like,
okay, I'm moving too slowly. Run a bit and then climb.
yeah.
That will
I
probably
mean,
sort.
my theory was always that, like if the real world data, like, the animation was played with, Toby going onto that wall, and Toby in real life had a real life collision, right? The wall was really there, so it was always strange to like to rely on collision to make him move the movement that if it that in real life he done it, and he done it without
This is
relying on him
flawless right
hanging
now.
on the wall, right?
Like minus the wall, but have you noticed now when now we've limited it and it was 0 2, and I mean I think with more coverage we can pull in these values more, like way more.
Yeah.
But even with this, like given and we're being quite lax right now, right? I mean it still feels like let me just disable all screen messages. It still feels pretty like pretty damn good. Like just do like I don't ever get the feeling of I hit. Like I don't. Okay, so there we do a bail, right? So you're like, oh crap. Okay, run a bit faster.
Yeah.
Okay, like mine, but like even still, like the blend there. Okay, that animation I know is sus, but like so even there, right? Like it's really it's quite rare that you actually fail, and when you hit the wall, it's like it's not really like dramatic in that scenario. Um,
Oh yeah, is interesting. He still did it, and it was just, you know probably, yeah, probably way too late there. There is still like that cat pass system.
Oh no, that the
Was
cat pass. No, yeah, ignore the cat pass. That they have a
uh,
they're fundamentally wrong with the way I do this because the cat pass there cannot have a skew.
right.
Because the skew happens between the hand plant and the foot on the thing, which motion wise is completely wrong. Because I'm basically saying at the hand plant, the hands need to be at the ledge, and then when you put your foot down, your feet need to be at the ledge. Problem is, your body's moving forward during that time. It's like, but you're basically saying, theoretically, it basically says like compress your movement down to one singular point, and it's like, well, it doesn't work like that. My route doesn't my route is in the middle. It doesn't follow the foot, so to speak. Like it's not like, oh, my hands are that much further, and then I pull through, and then I jump here, and all that stuff. We need to. And I also think it's because we don't calculate we need to actually calculate the math is wrong as well because we don't calculate how far off we actually need to be from the wall route wise with our scale, because I just have like an arbitrary value of like 60 right now, right? Which is like, oh, that's the rough offset. But in that scenario there, we need to actually be like 1.8 meters off the wall, which is to equate to Josh's full length of reach that we can then do the skew warp on. So that's actually probably what, like, we actually need to have a value for the distance from hand to root. Like that actually needs to be an actual precise value, not just because that's one thing we've also not taken into account with any of these calculations. They're all working off, all these calculations are working off a random value of like 60, like, which could for some be way too much and for others be way too little. So a bunch of the scales and all that stuff is just going to be wrong. What the fuck? Yeah, like I can, like it doesn't happen enough where it's like, why am I not doing it? It's just like, okay, when I don't do it, as long as the bail makes sense, it's like, oh, you know what? Let's run faster or do something
Have you
else, right?
seen that transition then between the falling and the climb? It was flawless.
No, yeah, 100%.
And even the ragdoll there was cool.
There's so many, right, where it's just so like this sequence here right now. Okay, minus the freaking cat pass.
But even that looked completely fine.
Yeah, but like if we
So
actually
then now
calculate,
you are like, that is like super perfect, right? Why we don't
yeah,
have a Even the ragdoll it looked super
Like the
good.
transition there was really good.
Yeah. Not sure about the landing with his face in the ground,
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give me 2 minutes. I've just got to stick some food in the oven. I like this a lot better. A lot more. And we might even be able to be more aggressive with changes elsewhere. But let me get rid of this dude here. Now, what?
but
Okay, okay. So let me check this in into my branch, and then the next most important thing I feel is okay. I'm gonna sit this in. When I come back, we really need to calculate that hand offset. We need to sort out the scale calculations. That's the next thing. Like, we'll make sure our math is right and is accurate in respects, so that then when we use the math, it's that proper. Um, okay. All right, Dad. Do you want to share your screen and I
yeah.
shall
Oh,
put you?
is it shared? No.
Oh, it is actually. Well, I'm being stupid. Yes, it is. The beautiful people, you can watch Dado's screen, but not my video.
Welcome to my masterclass. I teach you how to write C++ code.
Hey, Sarah. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate that. I actually think I've seen you around the stream a lot, actually. So that's awesome. It's always cool when you see someone from the stream become backer because it's like, hey, like,
Oh, nice.
it's nice. Which is so funny is like all new backers recently. Like, although I know we average like 8 to 10 viewers or something like that. Which isn't terrible, but it's not very good. But like,
Yeah, our
it's funny to
conversion
think
rate
how
is the roof.
like yeah, like, and they're pretty much most of them the same people. How with such a small viewership, we can actually get like 1 to 2, which is like a 1 in 7 conversion or 1 in 10 or whatever. Um, Imagine if we just put it out to more people. That's what we were saying the other day. Isn't it? It's like we just really aren't sharing it to a lot of people. Um, any idea how long it would take from payment to get an email from you guys? I don't think too long. Let me.
No, I think it's immediate. Check on your spam folder because Sally keeps saying that most of the email from PayPal they get to the spam folder. So if you check your spam folder, you should receive an email immediately, and yeah, and that's it. And then follow the instruction in the email, and you will see everything. As soon as I see the a new join in the Discord, I'll say hi.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that for sure. I just think I've seen your name pop up a couple times. Like I kind of remember everyone now. Like we do it so often, like pretty much every day we have a stream. So if I see someone's name more than once, I just remember it. Not in spam. Okay. I'm part of the viewer that doesn't speak much up there, but really appreciate the streams plus transparency on dev as a developer. Cheers, Pierre. Appreciate it a lot. Um, yeah, like we always know, like it's yeah, no, so yeah, 100%. Like Gunn said, it's really appreciated. Um, it's cool to know that people actually find use in the streams. So it's like I guess there's one thing trying to be transparent is like 90% of game dev is just hard. It's like I think I went around last night, but I think me and Dado spent like 4 hours, 3 hours, and we're just like, it's not working. It's broken. It looks crap. It's just frustration, which is what I think. Even at the start of this stream, you can sort of see there. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the hope is that we keep doing this all the way up until we release the game, right? And then it could just like, then it becomes a sort of like, and if the game is good, which it should be, hopefully, it's like, wow, the whole process is documented. And if you wanted to be like, from start to finish of what does it take to make a game, so you can actually see. And then the funny thing, I'll probably still just be like 20%. The other 8% is things that other people are doing that's not streamed and all that stuff. But it gives you like a smaller scope of the kind of scale of something like this is. And if there's anything in particular you want to see, just let us know as well. Or if you want me to shut up and stop singing on the streams, I'm not going to do that, but you can tell me. And just that's just a you problem. I want to go some. I want to quickly stick some food in and go to the toilet, and then you got this is dad with screen. Yeah, so if the email doesn't come through in the next like 30 minutes, then it should be immediate. It's normally pretty immediate, right?
Invitation link in the chat. Yeah, it's really immediate.
Yeah, let me send it. Let me send you
one email from PayPal and one from STORROR. So if you check the one from STORROR, it's got all of the link information stuff. But I can see
Discord there.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, if you haven't got the email, I'll get in touch with Sally and she will sort it out for sure.
Yeah, imagine compiling all those streams. That's definitely. I'd resign from that job. Be like, yeah, guys, I think it's time to move. 2 seconds. All right, I'll be right back.
Oh, you are in the Discord? Okay, so let's write some code. Yeah, and so if you still don't get that email, just write. If you see in Discord, there is the admin, which is Sally. So if you or Raj, if you write to both of them, because Sally was telling me that they had big problems with Outlook, like Outlook or yeah, Outlook, I think, or no, Hotmail. I don't remember, but there was a service that was basically really, really buggy for. It's actually no PayPal fault. Is what is the name? They use it's not WordPress. It's, Shopify. It's Shopify like email processing fault. But yeah, like write to one of those two guys, and yeah, it should be able to. So if you got an Hotmail email address, because if you got a Hotmail, I'm pretty sure Sally was saying something like that. They have got lots of problems with Hotmail. Yeah, the problem was that the Hotmail was bouncing back from Shopify, I think. So yeah, if you see in the Discord, can you tell them that Dado sent you to them, uh, and they will be actually. Oh, well, give me a sec. I'll just I'll just do it for you. Uh, uh, what is that? There we go. Oops. Oh, oh. Perfect. So you're back now. So yeah, just have fun now. Wait until you get the email and just register anyway. So we just send all the system, you know, like inline, synced up. So. Where's some code? Yeah, if you just DM Raj, yeah, uh, it will. Yeah, Raj or Sally. I think Sally knows a lot better about the Hotmail madness. So if you see one of the two admin, is Sally. She's online. Let me check. Yeah, so Sally, she's away, but she's online. So write a DM to Sally and say I'm on Hotmail and Hotmail is rubbish, and she will. Yeah, we will help you. The messages. So I'm chatting with Guns, and they made a mess as usual. So I have to fix the mess. Right. So the first time he does it, second time it does not. Wait, isn't the do it right? It doesn't fall anymore. Hmm. Okay. Let's check this. Does he actually fall? Yeah, I think that should. Oh no, sorry. What is the? Oh, okay, yeah, fine. So the dome then goes. Oh, I don't understand. Like it doesn't fall anymore, but the capsule is one. It's messy. Orange falling time, right? The hell is going on here? So falling time. You know what? Rebel for now. Oh, video arrows. That's not good. All right. Uh, uh, wow, that's a lot of arrows. What the hell? Where does it come from? Arrow 02. What the hell? What's it going on? Oh, it's weird. Mhm. And then it comes a point that area goes bonkers. Yes, that's right. Why not? Mm, yeah, of course it works. Maybe. Does it?
Vision.
It does indeed.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Why does it take so long?
Dado, did you answer the question about whether Sarah should DM Raj or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just
Yes,
came. I didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah, and the answer is yes. I think everyone should DM Raj. Just sometimes it feels lonely, so. Yeah, Raj or Sally. I think Sally is better because Sally always tells me that Hotmail email address are PETA, and yeah, she's very angry with Hotmail. So like apparently Shopify, like Hotmail bounces back Like it doesn't even put it in the spam folder. It just bounces back emails from Shopify. Just say, well, I don't know, this is a virus or something, right? So basically, every time somebody get backs from Hotmail, they don't receive the mail, and then they write to Raj and say, "Oh, I paid for the thing and I didn't get my." And so they say, "If you go,
Oh, just like,
yeah, okay," because like the irony is that every other if she sends the email from the store address, it works. But the automated email from, and even PayPal works. It's just the Shopify one with the extraction, with the automated everything. It doesn't work. It's just weird.
it's
And
so
no,
weird.
and they've been having the problem for well over a year. And yeah, apparently Shopify doesn't send on Hotmail. Or maybe it was some combination that, some configuration, sorry, that they did. I don't know, for some reason they go into a blacklist on Shopify. I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, every time Hotmail, it's just like Sally just going back for. I have a chat, a DM chat with Sam and Raj, Sally and Raj, and like you just see like pretty much every day. Oh, this one complaint because it was like it's really like non-stop. There's always a problem. Like
Mm.
I thought the coding was hard, but imagine if you have like a big volume, you just like you just go nuts. Like we got one copy, one sale a day when it's a good day, right? And it's already
It's really
and it's
sus.
already boom. All right. So,
Yeah, imagine we had like 1,000. That is actually another thing, right? Imagine like, let's say we had a massive influx of backers. It'd
yeah,
be like, it'd be like,
it's gonna be
whoa,
madness.
not my job.
Absolutely. We need to clone Raj and Sally like 10 times. Hopefully that will be a problem, right? I would really love to have that problem.
Yeah. Oh no, we have too many people buying the game.
Yeah.
We have to stop.
You know, like when you have to pay too much tax. Yeah, I mean that's a brilliant problem to have.
It's like, oh, life sucks. I have to pay 30K in tax, and I only get to keep 90,000.
That's awful.
It's like, what? No. It's like, ah. It's like, how am I gonna afford my other Mercedes? There's no way. I can't live like this. Oh, honestly, mother truckers.
Yeah, when my business, when the in the past, some of my businesses were going very well, right? Like I was talking to friends saying, yeah, but are you not worried that you pay so much tax? Well, no, because it means that you made a
That's what
lot
I'm
more
saying.
money, right? So why should I be worried? I mean, I'd be worried in the. I'd be worried now that I have to pay zero tax
Yeah,
because
that should tell. This is what I'm saying, right? Like that whole issue of like, because the thing is, I get it, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, but all the money I earn and um, it's like I don't get much of it and blah blah blah.
yeah,
I get that, right? I'm not saying I don't get that, but then I'm just a bit like, yeah, but like the thing is, like if you get to the point where it's like you are paying a shit ton of like half my salary is tax, and like at that point you don't need that. Like you have so much money, like your general actual money that you're making, it's just ridiculous. And this is not me saying like, because I would also, I bet if it was me, I'd feel butthurt, right? I'd be like, what the hell? Half the money I make is gone. Like,
yeah. I
and no
think
one, and it's not that you're saying you don't. It's not that what's it called? It's not that no one's saying that you don't deserve that, and it's not the thing. But it reaches a point where it's then like, well, the problem is if you just give everyone the same, um, like the actual disparity of wealth would not only would it be crazy, but then it'd also be like at one point you weren't earning that much, right? But then you had all the benefits of the other people paying you the money, right? So like when you weren't earning £120,000 or whatever, and you were on your first job, someone else's tax was paying for your healthcare.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
and then it was like, but then when you do earn it, it's like, "Ah, I don't want to pay for someone else. It's like, well,
yeah.
you
I
like
mean,
someone else had to pay for yours, right? Or you
yeah,
just do like
like,
America, and they just be like trillions in debt, and no one gets healthcare. And then
like
if you,
from
sorry,
from a human point of view, it's true that you always have that feeling like, oh, why do I have to pay that much? But I always feel like that unless as long as I'm paying less than 50%, it's okay for me. Like,
mm,
but it won't be okay. Yeah, if I pay 49.9, yeah, sure. It bothers me, but it's okay. If I pay 50.01, I think that is not okay. Because
yeah, no,
then when
yeah,
you say, like, you basically, like, you value yourself less than everybody else, right? Like, you
yeah,
just, like, so I think that is the tipping point for me. At some point in France, they got like 80% taxes, so stupid like 70%. So stupid number. I think that is wrong. They say, oh yeah, but he's rich, he can afford, but it doesn't matter, right? It's
yeah, no,
like,
80% tax.
like
Again, okay, that is ridiculous, right? Like that, because there's a point at which it's like that's is then just like unwanted charity, right? You are just giving, like, and it's also then it's also like, okay, at this point, does it also become lucrative, more beneficial for you to earn less money? And then it's also like most of what you do, you don't even like. If you keep majority of what you do, it's like fair enough, right? And it's like, okay, the rest it kind of balances out. But then it's
yeah,
also then it reaches a point. It's like I don't even keep most of what I make. So there's like what
yeah,
like it's just I work for not only the business I work for the tax man at that point. It's like,
yeah.
which I mean we already
And
do.
then
So
is when everyone is freaking out and trying to optimize taxes and going to, I don't know, the Barbados, wherever, like the British Virgin Island, wherever, like, because like, yeah, at that point it's like it becomes like you need to do it if if you don't want to get scammed by the
scammed,
government,
yeah.
like, so it's like more than 50 is wrong, but I think below 50 it's
Yeah,
not
so
fair.
what's tax looking like
Yeah,
in France? Because I know like different places have like some interesting schemes here, to say the least. Because I mean the thing it's like, because then it's like, so my brother, he lives in Berlin, right, and like they get taxed on every, like they got like health, like free health care, all that stuff, but then they're taxed, they pay like health tax or whatever it is. Um, so then it's like, because then he was like, how much he pays like a ridiculous amount each month. But then I'm like, how often have you used the hospital? He's like, I've been there
yeah.
once, and I didn't even like it didn't stay or anything. And then he was like, but then they just had a kid, and then it's like, oh, it's really useful at that point because we just had a kid, and we were there for a couple of days, and it was all free. They have to think about it. But I was like, yeah, but like you could probably financially plan, right? Prep
Oh
that
yeah,
for the
yeah,
kid,
yeah.
and actually
Yeah.
it would actually be cheaper, right? Because you're like, okay, well, I'll put aside £1,000 every month, right, for the next 2 years, in anticipation of the bills having thing, and you'd be covered, right? And then you'd probably still spend less than you would have spent just on the health insurance thing. But then it's the balance of, what if someone can't afford that, right? Do they then not get the same level of healthcare? Which,
Yeah.
like, is like, well, they then, not everyone can say I'm going to save £1,000 a month, right? Like, that's just not. Some people live paycheck to paycheck. So then it's like, yeah, it's just tricky, right? It's not. It's just like, because it's like you don't live in a society where people value everyone's jobs the same. So like, just some people make more, and it's. I also hate the trope of like, because I make more because I work harder. Probably not, actually. Like, that's actually quite often not the case.
Yeah, it's really on a case by case basis.
Case by case
But like,
basis, right?
it's not
But we
even
generalize it so much.
correct
It's
to
like,
say, oh, you like you earn too much from what you do. I mean, like sometimes you really work hard and you get paid well. I mean, yeah, there is a difference. Like, if you are an employee, then it's a totally different thing. But
mm,
if you put your ass on the line, like we're doing, then if we get a lot of money, it means that it's because we work hard, and there is no
100%.
unfairness to that. If
100%.
somebody doesn't do anything and he gets paid those money, yeah, sure, it's unfair.
Yeah. Hmm. And then, but then it's with that balance as well, though, because I think I see a lot now. It's like there's a trope that like, oh, like if you're rich, you're the hardest worker, and it's actually like often it's crazy because some of the richest people work the least because they're very rich because they've built because money makes you money, right? So you actually end up being at a point where I can make more money with minimum effort. Like that's actually the aim. Like no one's goal is to I want to work as hard as possible to make as much. It's like I want to earn as much with as little work as possible. Theoretically, right? Like that's the aim. But like I hit the people like if you're on low, just like if you don't earn enough, work harder. I'm like, well, there's people that like living paycheck to paycheck or wherever, like work 3 jobs. It's like it's not that they don't work hard. In fact, they probably work harder than most people, but their job isn't as valued higher, or what they're doing just isn't as lucrative. But then you can't also be like, well, just do something more lucrative, because if you said that to everyone, then all the non-lucrative jobs would stop, and then no one would run society. Like, how would you run 80% of the things society needs to run? Like, it just wouldn't happen. So, I don't know. Society's fucked. I just want to die already. No, I'm joking. I don't. When this game is done, then I can peacefully rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID tests were crazy.
You know what? Like when this game is done, like the last thing that you would think of is to rest.
I guarantee it's gonna be like, what next?
Yeah, yeah.
DLCs.
I never understood why people say, "Oh yeah, yeah," and then it go to live on a private island. Nobody does that.
No one does that.
I said, no. I just if you're if you work so hard, it means that your mentality is that, and you don't change your mentality with a lot of money. I didn't change my mentality, for example, and I really never even heard about anyone that really successful doing that. I mean, there may be some outliers here and there, but I think your mentality doesn't really change.
Literally, Star Parkour proved. The thing is, though, I love it. Right? Like just to have the game have a long lifestyle. Like do events, more releases, more content post launch. Like to really like actually make the game playable for like years to come. When do you guys start developing the project? I think Dado started the project 3 years ago. Like that's the actual initial inception. I mean,
So
yeah. Sorry,
originally was, well, I talked with Drew the first time, end of October 2020. So just over 2 years that we started talking about it. Yeah.
yeah. And then I've been working on this coming up 2 years now. All right, so let's sort out the next thing. So that is better. I prefer that now with the traces, with that logic of that.
Why is it falling, but it's not playing the falling animation? Highly sus.
Now I want to really.
How is it? Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to
I
hone
may
in.
got it now.
Yeah, I need to fix that animation. Client pop crap, whatever. The math. I need to do the math. So. Isn't it difficult for you to work hard on this for 2 years now? Very. Because like I think what a lot of people don't see is that like the effort that we put in, you can't do that whilst doing like a normal like 9 to 5, like because it's like it's so like not only mentally like consuming, it's also time like we spend a day like you'll see like we do like 8 hour streams like twice a day or some shit, and it's every single day like Monday to Sunday, like it's never a stop, but it's like it's really hard. And like the thing is as well, there is no like, oh hey, like don't worry guys, it's gonna be, it's gonna work. Like there is no like guarantee, or like I don't even know. It's not gratification in that sense, but like it's like that. I mean, like, because then you're always thinking about the financial side and the process, mate, all day, all night. It's actually a problem. It's kind of problematic. Generally, I've had arguments with my girlfriend about it because because it's like it's not like someone else is paying me, right? It's like we earn what we earn through you guys as backers, and it's like the if we don't release anything, we can't be like, hey guys, buy it. Like that's why we don't post and be like buy the game, because it's like it's just not comfortable to be like buy something that we don't think is worth the £20, or like is worth you guys knowing that we're, you know what I mean, like when we're doing this big change of how we do a lot of jumps and making this in systems and stuff, it's like, oh yeah, it's a long time with no release, which for player perspective is frustrating, but even more so for us, it's infinitely more frustrating because there is just no income, like because people are like, you get the odd person joins from the stream like you guys, which is really nice, but you don't have the same like flow of cash, and it's like it's not like someone else is gonna pay me, so I don't have to worry about that because I know money will come in at the end of the month. It's like if I don't do the work, we don't do the work. If Dado isn't coding all the time and we're not coding all the time, nothing will get done. It won't move forward. Like, and you'll just be stuck, and then so like you almost feel like it's got to the point where, like, I feel so guilty ever taking a day off, which is obviously very unhealthy. Like, I'm not even taking a day off. It's just not working on a day you wouldn't normally work. I feel like this guilt, and I'm just like thinking about it, like, oh yeah, but the climb still looks a bit buggy. What if we just add and it's like, because then it damages. I was like, probably quite deep. It does actually damage relationships. That's why I like work-life balance is healthy, because like it's difficult for people you're relationships with because your mind and your focus is always on that, and you're always thinking about the game and where it's at and what you need to do, and in order to get to a point where it's like, it's okay. So yeah, I mean that's what I've had difficulty with over the last year mainly. It's like 8 months to 1 year. That's been the hardest thing, like the all the time thing. But then you also do it because you love it, right? I wouldn't be. I would say something like, I wouldn't be happier doing anything else. Like even if I was getting paid £200,000 a week, right? And I wasn't doing any of this, would I be happier? I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I don't think so. Like, because you do love what you're doing. You're doing it because you love it. And you just have to you ask yourself, like, why am I doing it? And it's because you love it and you're passionate about it. And then it's like, would you be happier elsewhere? And you're like, probably not. And then it's like, so then stick it out. And you said, then you do. Because you believe in the project. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. It's just a difficult, like, we can always, like, I can always say, like, it's good to take rest. And it's so easy to say, and we know it's so true, but to actually do it is hard. Like, it's because it's like sleeping 8 hours a day. You know it's better for you. You know it's the healthy thing to do. You know you're meant to do it. Yet it's so difficult to actually turn off the thing and go to bed. Instead, you'll spend just another 20 minutes, just another hour. Let's just quickly fix this thing, and then it's 6 a.m. and you get 4 hours sleep. and it, you know the right thing to do, but your body just doesn't do it. It's difficult to master that. Like, that's why I really respect anyone that can have a really strong like work-life balance. It's a skill. It's not like a. People say, "Oh, it doesn't exist." It does, and a lack of it can seriously affect relationships and all that stuff. Like, I've seen it happen. This happened to me, so work-life balance, kids. Like Dada, for you, have you struggled with the 24/7ness of making the game?
Yes, there is, like, especially if you have a family, there is
Hmm.
there is the balance that is um that is really testing you. But on the other hand, because you are, like, there is a huge difference between feeling that's kind of stress that you can control because it's your thing, and that kind of stress that you cannot control because, I don't know, let's say there was one of a Google manager that got fired in one of the 12,000 layoffs of blah
Hmm.
blah blah, right? I would probably would have worked as hard, and at the end of the day I could have got out of nothing, damage all my relationship, and go like zero out of it.
Hmm.
um Instead, like, I think, like, when you're working on a project like this, you know that you're always gonna be a winner at the end. And you can, like, if I need to, I don't know, bring my daughter to do the gymnastic club, I'll just bring my daughter to like I don't have to ask permission to, to anyone, or just take some time off. I just, like, yes, it's a lot more stressful, but at the same time, it's like being in total control of yourself has got, like, incredible advantages. And also, like, working from home, which I really don't like, but at least it helped me with the balance, because I see my daughters, well, they go to school, stuff like that, but, like, basically 24 hours a day, so I never feel like yeah. Like, there are lots of negatives, of course, but I think a good number of positives that makes it just fine. I think the only, the really, the hard thing, uh, it's just doing it when money are tight. Because I did projects, I did passion projects where I didn't have any problem with money, and it was a lot easier. But now, uh, because we're generating pretty much zero, that is the hardest part. Money is the hardest part of uh, embarking on a project like this. But at the same time, is you need it, otherwise you're never gonna push it. And another good test of character is that you're tight, you're stressed. You want to, you want to release some stuff and get some money out of it, but you can't because uh, like, you are it's not being a perfectionist, but is, like, you are onto a mission to make something great. And I think, like, the stuff that, like, if you are not on that mindset, you really compromise greatness. Like, we took 2 years even to present something that barely can run around the level, right? And yeah, for sure, we could have done it in 2 months with the locomotion system, the generic one. And but the fact that under stress you still don't cave in to the urge of of mediocrity is a good indication of your potential success in the future. And yeah, and that, see, all those things morally will help you. And if you're doing long enough, it means that you are mentally, you know uh, mentally strong enough to go through it. If you're not mentally strong enough, you probably give up before, just the first couple of days, even, right? So, um, it, yeah, it's very tough. Relationships are harder, but at the same time easier, because uh, because at the end of the day, being in control of yourself, you can understand who you really are as a person. While if you are caged into somebody else domain, it's not that easy to really understand yourself. Like I was working for Electronic Arts and Sony before, and like I never felt that they sort of involuntarily brainwash you to think that, oh, but you are a game programmer, right? Oh, you're just a programmer doing games. You're not a businessman. You're not blah blah, right? So like you don't really know like your true nature because you are caged into those corners, right? But they treat you well and they don't do it intentionally badly, but it's just the way the things are set up that they don't set your brain free. And so I never had I never heard about a setup which was totally positive, unless you're, I don't know, like even if you're the son of a multi-billionaire, you go everything blah blah. Well, that still go, it's not. Well, it's a bit, I don't know. It's a bit boring for me, right? It's just like, so I never heard about that. Oh, like that is the super perfect setup that doesn't have any downsides. If anything, these the things that we are doing at the moment, the mentality that we got at the moment, for me, is the best one that you can ever hope for in your life. I mean, I lived through all possible combination of things, and this so far has been the best one. Like being in control of yourself, and you see, like if you can push hard, you know, that is who you are, and probably it's good for you.
Additionally, on that note, I realized that though I wasn't. I know it's kind of off topic here, real quick. I wasn't adding in that that additional hand offset value that we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Like where the root for the hand is. I didn't add that in. All of a sudden, all the animations work. So the math was completely wrong. The math on the scale for the jump, the math on all the stuff was always too far forward by whatever value you're using. Which basically meant that it was trying to take you into the wall too much on both your scale and your like calculations of the scale. So if you, I don't know, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I see the stream. Okay, yeah, no, okay, yeah, go.
If you the actual this one now works completely fine. Like it actually looks really good.
Oh,
like
the dive cut pass thing.
Yeah, the dive cat passes work quite. And there, I mean, they if you looked when we actually did it, it had a pretty crappy scale, right? Because we dropped the clamp massively. But like, if you actually, like there, right, that was it. Literally, the scale was decent. That looked perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like precise in all. It's like actually, and the value for that is still wrong. Like, I just use an arbitrary 60. But it's actually it's still not correct. It should actually be like 100 and something or whatever. So when that's actually precise,
figure out how to calculate that 60 number.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do now. That's what I'm working on now. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now.
Yeah, this was the thing that was mentioned yesterday, right? It was like it looked to me that at some point last week or whatever it was, right? At some point, everything was so flawless that the version that we got last night, I didn't really understand why it goes so out of sync, right? Yeah, I mean, this looks like we ship this tonight. Basically.
This looks so good. And all of a sudden, all the coverage problems that we thought we were having go away because the math is better. So it's like, oh no, this animation is actually correct, and like that. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, sorry. That's what I was gonna say. What you're saying, like, no, yeah, it's actually really nice hearing what you're saying. Um, wise words of wisdom from Dada. I've also found like this on that topic as well. What's helped me as well is that you don't really feel alone in the process. I know it's gonna sound bad, but like knowing that Dado is also broke, and I mean Guns after hearing his job freaking perfect role is, take it back. But I know it sounds bad, Dad, but knowing that you're not alone in the fact that shit, like I'm doing all this, and there's no
Oh
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh no, there's actually someone else and people that support, and like it's like even the STORROR guys, like they're all trying to support you, and they all want you to succeed and everything like that, and it makes it, yeah, it doesn't feel as lonely, and it also motivates you because then it doesn't feel like I do it not just for myself, because then I'm like, I want to do it to like for everyone else as well. Like I want to work on it so that this system can be good, so that it complements other people's systems, and then we can get the money in quicker, so that Drew and all that can focus on the project more. We can really get their stuff can get shown off more. Like when Guns works on the UI and it's like, or wants to work on the level, it's like you can't because the climbing sucks. Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like, yeah, you can't do that because one of your systems is shit, and so it doesn't do that. Yeah, but yeah, it's nice. It's not as lonely, but this feels freaking good. Honestly, talk to me. Oh, I knew Guns broke it. Guns got rid of it. I can't trust this guy with anything, honestly, man. I'm gonna check this in before I break something else.
No, David, before Guns breaks it.
Before
So
Guns.
just checking it.
And it's not even calculated, it's just a random ass value. Imagine if that's precise. Imagine.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you know what? I think the moment we make it precise, it's shit, why? And all of a sudden, nothing is working anymore.
I'm, st- I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that, Dom. I'm promising you, the balance, into balance and out balance will be better. Mark my words. We're gonna add the stick mode. The stick mode or stick input. So I'm gonna, because with this it might even work. We're gonna I'll have a little look see. Of that. When did I go to get food? Does anyone remember? When did I get back? Like how many minutes ago was it? Okay, it's literally 30
Guns,
seconds.
when do you add that to the? It's
Season
not
two.
in the level blueprint. Yeah, Guns broke completely. The level blueprint is such a mess.
Blueprint is the devil. So
Guns, where did you add the HUD in the game? Is in the level blueprint. Very bad. I'm gonna kill it.
let's do some math.
Do this. Goodbye. I can't read the text and in it and the HUD. It's pretty annoying. We break. Okay, no, I missed this. Item needs to be rebuilt. What? Oh. This God is crazy.
We're longing for your love. Do you want another thing that I wanted to say to you? I think we should really have a look at applying for that Epic Mega Grant.
Yeah, no, he
How do
asked
I
me
was
my
looking at it yesterday because they're doing like this
forever.
Mega Grant week where they show off all their different projects and the things they give money to, and I'm like, fuck, man, like it's literally like because then I even looked at the form. I was like, it was like, does it commute like, does it con what is the word when you give something back to the community? Does it contribute? Does it contribute to the 3D community, and or is your code open source? I was like, well, it's not necessarily accessible, but we show it all off, and it does contribute to the 3D because we do tutorials, we show how we do it, everything like that, like how we attack different things. So I was like, man, like I feel like if there's any project they would back in terms of like, this is how we're doing it, and this is how we're going about making our game, and these are the problems we face, both from a dev, technical, mental, like organizational perspective, social perspective. I feel like it's just a cool project to back, and you can ask anywhere from like, I think it's from like 5,000 to 500,000, right?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah,
can,
the range
it's
is
like, I
like
mean,
that.
even if they were like, oh, we can give you like 20 grand, I'm like, you know what, calm. That's the mocap
Yeah,
data for the, and it's like also they ask for like what you're gonna spend the money on, and obviously we've got
yeah,
like fully fledged pitch decks, budgeters, like all this stuff, like in terms of actually what we need to submit to, and then like they wanted to see like videos and social pages and all that stuff. I'm like, well, we got all of that. So I was, and like a build. I was thinking, well, once we make 010, we could just send it through to them,
yeah,
and
no,
send them the
yeah,
010 with the Instagram, the YouTube, the Discord, show them all that stuff, and then I don't see, but I feel like they would really be down for that, because then also it's like, if in theory we got, let's just say hypothetically, we got 500,000 for them, I personally would be like, let's make the game ourselves.
Sorry, let's
Let's
get them.
be like, fuck Sony. Sony, if you're hearing this, don't fuck you. I love you. Please give us money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. See what I mean. Yeah, I think that is. No, I think you need to. Yeah, you need to get. You, you need to be in good terms with, not necessarily like money wise, right? But they, I think that we're gonna make the most out of this project if, let's say, Sony wants to push it, because there is no amount of marketing that we can do, or even the STORROR can do, that is gonna, no, it's gonna be sort of like a rounding error compared to the amount of push that Sony
Sony can do, yeah.
does for first party studios, right? Like, let's take for example, God of
Forspoken.
War or Uncharted, the Last of
Yeah.
Us, like all of the first party studios, like just the fact that they make a game, they sell about 5 million copies because
Yeah,
it's
that
just
alone,
part of
right?
that
Yeah.
family, right? It's just like your name is known, right? So, and that's got value of, you know, I don't know, like 500 million, whatever, like
Yeah, just
you
yeah,
buy,
like just the
yeah, 10 million
yeah.
copies by 60 quid is like 600 million, right? Like as a global business, right? So yeah, Sony can give you that, but there is no amount of PR and marketing that you can do to generate that money. So they're not even Mr. Beast can do it. It's just way off. Like, oh yeah, I spent 1 million on one video. Yeah, that is absolutely, like, even the most B series on Netflix, they spend 2 or 3 million per episode. Like Squid Game, before it was a success, the guy spent 8 million. I don't know where he got the money from, but he spent 8 million on Squid Game, and it was a complete bet, right? So even the most obscure production completely dwarfs, you know, any of those numbers that
Yeah.
you can guess on YouTube. So yeah, I think it's like crucial to uh,
100%. Yeah.
get those guys to really like you,
Oh no,
because
hundred
then it,
percent.
like like when I was making apps, at some point Google decided to uh, promote the app because they thought that was really cool, and they did it for free because they said, "Oh, we put it as featured on the Play Store. We put it on the front page and everything, and of course it didn't cost anything to us,
Anything.
right?
Yeah.
And like, and we were the top number one paid app download for 15 days straight worldwide in every market, like US, UK, blah blah, you name it. Like we were 15 days at number one straight, right? So we calculated that if we had to pay ads to generate that sort of visibility and revenue, we would have needed to spend 2 billion in ads, right? And they did it for free because they say, yeah, I'll just put you here in the top of this list. And it's like you cannot possibly, like you cannot, that there is a limit in which how much you can genuinely push yourself without the platform owner to give it with. You're
Mm.
always
Yeah.
yeah, around the narrow. So yeah, I mean those whatever epic mega grand money we can get. I would just say, I don't know, just we just buy some better cameras. We're gonna like we just bought some license for
Yeah. Yeah.
motion capture
Well,
or something, right? But that is just like an approximate, like yeah, that's
yeah.
just like yeah,
Well, I
nearly
think it'd
nothing.
be
Yeah.
it'd be more so like that money, right? Would be to get us to the point where Sony can't say no, right? Like it'd be
Yeah,
like, because for us it'd be like, take all that financial pressure off, allow us
yeah,
to, because then that could be salaries for a team of 10 for
yeah,
a year, right? Or it could be like, now it gives us, we can bring in another programmer, a two level like, get like level design, level artist, and like whatever we need, right, into like UI environment, whatever we want to bring in at that point. We could bring on like between, like, even let's just say we brought on 4 more people, right, and we were able to say, okay, for this next year we have everyone's salaries covered, and then we also have money to now spend on mocap licenses, different programs, any equipment that anyone needs, camera for the content for the YouTube, make sure everyone has monitors and everything, have an office space for a year, all that stuff there. Like we said, we give ourselves a year, right, of
mm,
like financially, that money that we don't have to stress, and we can work solely on this game. It's not giving us the sense of like, oh, you can just chill now because you only have a year, right? At that point, the money's
yeah,
gonna run out. So, and then it's like, shit. So then everyone coming in is like, look, we can't promise you 6 years worth of salary. Like, we can promise you a year, and then we see where we're at, and hopefully by then we've made something there. But that year would be the most productive year that we'd have yet, right? Because we would no longer
oh
be
yeah, yeah,
constrained. Like now we're taking, we need mocap, but we don't have the money for the license. Um, like all that stuff goes out the window. It's like, okay, we have the space to do the cap. We can go grab and get the camera, go do this, send the laptops. We have 2, one person has one. Like that goes out the way, and all of a sudden production, everything raises. So
uh,
I'm almost seeing it as not as like a, as like we need it to make the game, but I think we need it to give us the ability to get the game to a point where the likes of Sony could be like, yeah, let's do it.
yeah. It also gives you some breathing space
Mm.
to um yeah to um yeah yeah to survive, right? It's like literally
Yeah.
breathing space, right? Yeah. But like, how does it work? Like, I looked into the Epic Mega Grant before, and it was a little bit generic, right? Like, um, like like they just say if we like the game we'll support you, right? But they don't they like
Yes.
require to do like I don't know like anything in particular?
Yeah, so like there's a you have to apply the form, and they can do it at any point in the year. There's not like deadlines. You apply on this form, and then you send through all your details, like any videos, files, whatever. Like basically, like we're doing a pitch, basically. And then the YouTube, then you write down descriptions of what the game is, and then there's a whole section of like how does the game contribute? Is he using Unreal? Like, what does it contribute to the 3D community? Blah, blah, blah. How big is your team? All this stuff. What are you going to spend the money on? Yeah, it's like almost like asking for bursary, and it like covers all that stuff there. And obviously, like we're saying currently, of like full-time employees is a team of 3 to 5, and then we'll say like don't tell them, well, we got a team of 50 and we've made this much. It's like, well, no, a team of 3 to 5. But then we'll have a team of X amount with the grant, right? To be able to then do what we're trying to do and blah blah blah, explain all that. It's just kind of talking about what we're trying to do with it. And then they sort of like, I think then it's probably like if they dig it or they think, oh yeah, this is actually quite interesting, I presume then they'll contact you and then you'll discuss more. Then they'll actually go into the more technical side of like, what is it you're doing code, like, and I'm guessing they also want to see a build, right? This is why I like probably can't send it to them now, but like once we have 0-10, then it becomes viable as like okay, we have a working decent product of this build, so they know it's a realistic thing. Then it's like if 0-10 plays well, it's like, oh shit, this game's actually quite good. They have, and obviously that with STORROR and all this stuff, oh they actually have a brand that their Instagram has a bit of a following. They do videos, they make content about Unreal, they do stuff like. Then I mean, obviously I can't speak for Epic, but I would think, oh, that's quite a good project to support if you were to pick a project. But yeah, I think like, I mean, this is obviously post 0-10, but when we release it, I think it should be something we at least apply. And if it doesn't happen, then whatever.
No, for sure. I mean, I think there is there is like at least you need to give it a go, and then you can like you can bail out at any later
Point, right?
stage,
Yeah.
but
So let's say
at least you want to know what that is all about, right?
Yeah, 100%. 27 to start, and then 0.86. It's 563. I can smell my food. It's talking to me. This is a weird discrepancy. I can't pinpoint exactly. I need this value. Okay. Okay, I want to grab some food. Well, my food's ready. I'm just gonna eat. Yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna grab some. I'm gonna go eat. I don't know if you wanna. We should just, because I don't know. I'm probably gonna go for like 45 minutes. Take a bit of a break. When I get back, though, if you wanna, can we look? I know how to get the I know the value I want basically.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just I just got to do some transforms between local parent space and local roots and world root space. It's just fucking annoying. So we just need to have a look at that. I could use your help with. But then I think that we could actually be onto something there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Awesome. Stream. I'm gonna end it there. But we're gonna stream again tonight. Thank you for everyone that was in the stream. Pierre, Sarah, it was really cool talking to you. Noma, as always lovely having you. Guns, stop breaking everything. Unfortunately, was in the stream, and anyone else that was lurking, thank you. And sweet guys, we shall stream again in probably like a couple of hours, or I don't know. I'm gonna go gym in like an hour or so. So I don't know if Guns or you, either any one of you want to stream. If not, I'll do it again tonight when we crack on. So yeah, awesome guys.